Close your eyes for a second and imagine this. I'm 26 years old, living in a 400 square foot apartment in Venice, California. My bed's a lumpy mattress on the floor, my kitchen's a rusty bathtub where I scrub dishes because I can't afford a sink. My bank account's got $12 in it, my confidence is in shambles, and my dreams feel like a cruel joke. I was broke, financially, emotionally, spiritually. But I didn't stay there. I built a multi-million-dollar empire, coaching presidents, athletes, and everyday people to unleash their potential. How? By mastering my mind, taking relentless action, finding my purpose, and building unstoppable momentum. In the next 30 minutes, I'm going to share the exact steps I took to go from rock bottom to remarkable success. This isn't just my story, it's your roadmap. If a kid like me, with no money, no connections, no fancy education, can do it, so can you. Are you ready to rewrite your story? Let's make it happen. Let's go back to 1983. I'm 26, living in that tiny Venice apartment, 40 pounds overweight, staring at a pile of bills I can't pay. My mind was my worst enemy. I'd wake up every morning thinking, I'm too young to succeed. I don't have a college degree. I'll never make it, I come from nothing. Maybe you're nodding along right now. Maybe you're telling yourself, I can't start a business, I don't have the money. Or, I'm too busy to chase my dreams. Or, I'm not good enough. I get it, I've been there. But here's the truth, your mindset is the foundation of everything you achieve. If you believe you're stuck, you are. If you believe you can change, you will. When I hit rock bottom, I had one thing going for me, a spark of hunger. I wanted a better life, not just for me, but to prove to myself I could be more. The problem was my head was full of garbage. Negative thoughts were like anchors, dragging me down. I'd look in the mirror and think, who are you to dream big? You're a nobody from a broken home. But then I stumbled on a life-changing idea, your thoughts aren't facts. They're stories you've chosen to believe. And you can rewrite those stories. Here's the 3-step process I used to rewire my mindset, and it's the same one I've taught millions of people. Identify your limiting beliefs. I grabbed a $2 notebook from a drugstore and wrote down every excuse I was making. I'm too young. I don't have connections. I'm not smart enough. It was brutal to see it on paper, but it was the truth. I want you to do this now, pause this video, grab a pen, and write down one belief that's holding you back. Maybe it's, I don't have enough time, I'm afraid to fail, or I'll never be rich. Be honest. What's the lie you're telling yourself? Challenge those beliefs. For every excuse, I asked, is this really true? Spoiler alert, it wasn't. I wasn't too young, I was hungry and teachable. I didn't need a degree, I could learn from books, mentors, and real-world experience. I started digging for evidence to prove my excuses wrong. I read about people like my mentor Jim Rohn, who grew up poor on a farm and became a millionaire through hard work and learning. If he could do it, why not me? Take your limiting belief and ask, what's the proof this isn't true? If you think you don't have time, track your day. How much time do you spend on Netflix or social media? If you're afraid of failure, think about someone you admire who failed and still succeeded. Failure's just a stepping stone. Replace with empowering beliefs. I started replacing my negative thoughts with truths. Instead of, I'm not good enough, I told myself, I am capable, and I will find a way. It felt awkward, like I was faking it. But I'd stand in front of my cracked bathroom mirror, look myself in the eye, and say it out loud every day. Over time, I believed it. Write down a new belief to replace your old one. If you wrote, I can't afford to start a business, try, I can start small with what I have and grow. If it's, I'm too old, say, my experience gives me an edge. Say it out loud right now, feel the shift. That's the spark of transformation. Let me tell you about Sarah, a single mom from Dallas I coached. She was 34, working 2 jobs, barely making ends meet, dreaming of starting an online jewelry business. Her limiting beliefs: I don't have time. I'm not a business person. No one will buy my stuff. We sat down and went through this process. She wrote down her excuses, challenged them, and replaced them with, I can make time for my dreams, I can learn business skills, and my creativity is valuable. She started small, dedicating 1 hour a day after her kids were asleep to build her Etsy store. She learned basic marketing from free YouTube videos. Within 18 months, she quit 1 job, doubled her income, and moved her family to a better home. Today, her business pulls in 6 figures, and she's teaching other moms how to do the same. That's what a mindset shift can do. Another story: when I was starting out, I had no money for fancy seminars, so I hunted for knowledge wherever I could find it. I'd spend hours at the library, reading books on psychology, sales, and success. One book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, blew my mind. It said success starts with a burning desire and a clear mental picture. I started visualizing my goals every morning, 10 minutes, eyes closed, imagining myself speaking to thousands, helping people break free, living a life of freedom. I saw the stage, heard the applause, felt the energy. Visualization isn't daydreaming, it's programming your brain to see opportunities. Here's a real-world example. I coached a guy named Chris, a 40-year-old accountant from Chicago who hated his job but felt trapped. His limiting belief was, I'm stuck in this career forever. We challenged it. Plenty of people switch careers later in life. He replaced it with, I can use my skills to start something new. He visualized running his own financial consulting firm. Within a year, he launched his business, using his accounting expertise to help small businesses. Today, he earns more and works half the hours. Visualization helped him see the path. Your action step: spend 10 minutes every morning visualizing your dream life. Picture yourself achieving your goal, starting that business, buying that home, traveling the world. See the details: what's the weather like? Who's with you? How do you feel? Write down one key image from your visualization. Do this daily, and your brain will start finding ways to make it real. One more tip: surround yourself with inspiration. I taped quotes to my wall, things like, the only limit is the one you set yourself. Find a quote that fires you up and keep it where you'll see it. Your mind is your most powerful tool, train it to work for you, not against you. Mindset lights the spark, but action builds the fire. At 26, I was done dreaming about a better life. I had to make it happen. I was still in that tiny apartment, scraping by, but I realized waiting for the perfect moment was a trap. I didn't have money, connections, or a clear plan, but I had grit. I decided to take massive action. I started where I was, with what I had. I devoured books on sales, psychology, leadership, anything I could get my hands on. I'd spend hours at the library, reading until my eyes hurt. I cold called successful people, begging for 10 minutes of their time. Most said no. Some hung up. But I kept going, because every no was one step closer to a yes. Let me take you back to one of my first big moves. I wanted to learn from the best, so I tracked down Jim Rohn, a personal development legend. I called his office, pitching myself as a young guy with big dreams. I was shaking, expecting rejection. But I got a meeting. Jim saw something in me, hunger, and became my mentor. He taught me that success isn't luck, it's action, day after day. That meeting led to my first seminar. I rented a community center room for $50, put up flyers, and 12 people showed up. I made no profit, but it was a start. Every step built my confidence, my skills, my momentum. Here's your action plan to take massive action. Set a clear, specific goal. Vague dreams don't become reality. My goal was to create a seminar to help people unlock their potential. What's yours? Be precise. Maybe it's starting a side hustle, getting a $10,000 raise, paying off $20,000 in debt, or running a half marathon. Write down one goal right now. Make it so clear you can taste it. If you want to start a business, what kind? If it's a promotion, what role? Clarity is power. Break it into micro steps. Big goals are intimidating, so I broke mine down. My first step was learning public speaking. I practiced in front of a mirror, recorded myself, studied great speakers like Martin Luther King Jr. Then I pitched my seminar to small groups, churches, Rotary clubs, anyone who'd listen. List 3 small actions you can take this week toward your goal. For example, if you want to start a business, your steps could be researching your market for 2 hours, sketching a 1-page business plan, and contacting a potential mentor. If it's a promotion, update your resume, schedule a meeting with your boss, and learn one new skill for the role. Act despite fear. Fear is a dream killer, but it's also a sign you're on the right track. I was terrified pitching my first seminar. My voice cracked, my hands shook. Only 12 people came, but it was a victory because I showed up. Every failure taught me something. Every no made me sharper. Take one bold action today. Send that email, make that call, post your idea online. Don't wait to feel ready. Action creates readiness. Let me tell you about Mike, a mechanic from Cleveland I coached. Mike dreamed of owning his own auto repair shop but was paralyzed by fear of failure. He thought, what if I lose everything? I've got a family to support. We broke it down. His goal, open one shop. His micro steps, save $500 from his paycheck, take a free online small business course, and lease a small garage. He was scared, but he used my 5-second rule. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. He made the calls, signed the lease, and opened his shop. Within 2 years, he owned 3 shops and employed 5 people. Mike didn't wait for courage, he acted, and courage followed. Here's another story. Emily, a 29-year-old nurse from Atlanta, wanted to start a health coaching business but kept procrastinating. Her excuse: I don't know enough. We challenged that. She had a nursing degree and years of experience. Her micro steps were creating a simple website, offering free coaching to friends, and posting one health tip a day on Instagram. She was nervous, but she started. Within a year, she had 50 paying clients and quit her hospital job. Action turns dreams into reality. Pro tip: create a bias toward action. Hesitation is the enemy. When I was starting out, I'd freeze before making calls to potential mentors. So I started using the 5-second rule. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, dial. It forced me to act before my brain could talk me out of it. Try it this week. When you're stuck, count down and go. You'll be shocked at how fast things move. Let's talk about something deeper than money: purpose. When I was 26, I didn't just want to be rich, I wanted my life to mean something. Money buys nice things, cars, houses, vacations, but without purpose, it's hollow. I found my why: to empower people to break through their fears and live extraordinary lives. That purpose was my fuel. It got me out of bed when I was exhausted. It pushed me through rejection, failure, and doubt. It turned my struggle into a mission. When I was broke, I felt lost, like I was drifting through life. I'd ask myself, why am I here? What's the point? Discovering my purpose gave me direction. It wasn't just about paying the bills, it was about making a dent in the universe. Purpose is what separates a good life from a great one. It's what makes you unstoppable. Here's how to find yours. Ask the deep questions. What lights you up? What would you do for free because it feels so fulfilling? For me, it was helping people transform. Maybe for you, it's teaching, creating art, solving problems, or building something that lasts. Spend 10 minutes today writing down moments when you felt truly alive. Maybe it was helping a friend through a tough time, solving a complex problem, or creating something beautiful. Those moments are clues. Dig deep. What's the common thread? Align your actions with your why. Once I knew my purpose was empowering others, every decision I made supported it. I read books on psychology to understand people better. I practiced speaking to move crowds. I created seminars to spark change. Take your goal from segment 2 and ask, how does this align with my purpose? If you want to start a business, make sure it reflects what matters to you. If your purpose is helping others, maybe your business solves a problem they face. Aligning your actions with your why gives you clarity and drive. Give back early. You don't need to be a millionaire to make an impact. When I started, I coached people for free to hone my skills and live my purpose. I'd spend hours listening to their struggles, offering advice, helping them find clarity. It wasn't about money, it was about impact. Find one way to serve others with your skills today. If you're a teacher, mentor a student. If you're a designer, create a free logo for a local nonprofit. If you're a problem solver, help a friend brainstorm solutions. Giving fuels purpose and opens doors. Let me tell you about Lisa, a teacher from Sacramento I coached. Lisa was 38, grading papers, feeling like her life was on autopilot. She thought, I'm just a teacher, I can't make a big impact. We dug into her why and found her passion was mentoring kids in underserved communities. She started volunteering at an after-school program, teaching kids life skills. That grew into a nonprofit that now serves thousands of kids with mentorship, tutoring, and resources. Lisa's income grew, but more importantly, her life became richer. She wakes up every day knowing she's changing lives. That's purpose. Another example, early in my career, I drive hours to speak at small events for free, community centers, libraries, local clubs. I'd talk to 10 people about breaking through fear. It wasn't glamorous, but it connected me to my purpose. One of those talks caught the attention of an organizer who booked me for a bigger event. That was my first paid gig. Giving back didn't just feel good, it built my career. Here's a story about David, a software engineer from Seattle. He was 45, making great money but feeling empty. Through coaching, he realized his purpose was using technology to make education accessible. He started creating free coding tutorials for kids in low-income schools. It was a side project, but it lit him up. Word spread, and he turned it into a business. Now he runs a platform that teaches thousands of kids to code, and he earns more than he did at his corporate job. Purpose doesn't just feed your soul, it can feed your bank account too. Your challenge, this week, do one act of service tied to your passion. If you love teaching, share knowledge with someone. If you're creative, make something for a cause you care about. If you're a leader, mentor someone in your field. Write down one way you can give back and do it. Purpose isn't something you find, it's something you create through action. One more tip, keep a purpose journal. Every night, write down one thing you did that day that felt meaningful. Maybe you helped a coworker, inspired a friend, or worked on a project that excites you. Over time, you'll see patterns that reveal your why. Purpose is your compass. It keeps you on track when life gets tough. Success isn't a one-time event, it's a lifestyle you build through habits, systems, and the right people. Going from broke to millionaire wasn't about one lucky break. It was about creating momentum that carried me forward, even when life got hard. I built daily rituals to stay focused, tracked my progress to stay motivated, and surrounded myself with people who pushed me to grow. That's how you make success stick. At 26, my life was chaos, no structure, no plan. I'd get fired up for a day, then crash. I learned that momentum comes from consistency, not motivation. Motivation fades, systems last. Here's how I built lasting momentum, and how you can too. Create daily rituals. Every morning, I spent 10 minutes visualizing my goals. I'd close my eyes and see myself speaking to thousands, helping people, living a life of freedom. I'd picture the stage, the crowd, the energy. I also moved my body, walking, stretching, or jumping to get my blood pumping. Movement changes your emotional state. Create a 5-minute morning ritual, visualize your success, write down 3 things you're grateful for, or do a quick workout. It sets the tone for your day. Track your progress. I kept a journal to celebrate small wins. Made a new connection. I wrote it down. Learned a new skill. I celebrated it. Tracking keeps you motivated. Every Sunday, I'd review my week, what worked, what didn't, what's next. Get a notebook or use your phone to track your wins weekly. Did you take a step toward your goal? Log it. Even small wins, like reading 10 pages or sending 1 email, count. Surround yourself with winners. I felt alone at 26, like I was fighting the world. But I sought out mentors and joined groups of ambitious people. My mentor Jim Rohn changed how I saw myself. He said, "You're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." I joined masterminds, attended seminars, and built a circle of people who challenged me. Find your tribe, join a mastermind, go to networking events, or connect with someone who's where you want to be. Let me tell you about Karen, a small business owner I coached. She ran a struggling bakery in Denver and felt isolated. Her momentum was stalling. I encouraged her to join a local business group. She met a mentor who helped her streamline her operations and market better. Within a year, her revenue tripled, and she opened a second location. Her tribe gave her ideas, accountability, and confidence. Your circle shapes your success, choose wisely. Another story, when I started, I was intimidated by successful people. But I joined a mastermind group of entrepreneurs. I was the youngest, least experienced guy there, but they pushed me to think bigger. One member introduced me to an event organizer, which led to my first big seminar deal. That one connection changed my career. Audit your relationships. Write down the 5 people you spend the most time with. Are they lifting you up or dragging you down? If they're not inspiring you, find new voices. Join an online community, attend a workshop, or message someone you admire. Here's a practical tip: create a weekly review system. Every Sunday, I'd spend 10 minutes looking at my progress. Did I take my 3 actions? Did I move closer to my goal? I'd celebrate wins and plan next steps. Try it this week. Set aside 10 minutes to check in with yourself. Adjust, celebrate, keep going. One more example. I coached Tom, a real estate agent from Florida. He was good but inconsistent, closing big deals one month and nothing the next. We built a system. He started each day with a 5-minute visualization, tracked his client calls weekly, and joined a mastermind of top agents. That structure made him a top performer in his region, closing million-dollar deals consistently. Momentum isn't magic, it's a system. Your challenge: build one new habit this week. Maybe it's 5 minutes of visualization, tracking one win a day, or reaching out to a potential mentor. Write it down and stick to it for 7 days. Small habits create big results. I went from washing dishes in my bathtub at 26 to building a multimillion-dollar empire because I rewired my mind, took massive action, found my purpose, and built unstoppable momentum. This isn't just my story, it's your blueprint. You don't need a trust fund, a fancy degree, or a perfect plan. You need a decision to start today. Here's your challenge. Write down one limiting belief and flip it into an empowering one. Say it out loud daily. Take one bold action toward your goal this week: send that email, make that call, start that project. Connect to your why, write down one thing that lights you up and do one act to live it. Build a ritual: 5 minutes each morning to visualize, move, or give thanks. Your dream life isn't a fantasy, it's a choice. Want to go deeper? Subscribe my Quantum Vault channel and unleash your potential challenge. You'll get daily strategies, practical tools, and a community of driven people to support you. I've coached presidents, Olympians, and everyday heroes like you. Now it's your turn. Don't wait. Your future self is counting on you. Let's make your story one of triumph. Go unleash your greatness.